Well, sadly, it's happened again. Yet another race that promised so much, but delivered oh so little. I'm back in Assetto Corsa Competizione today, returning to low-fuel motorsport Speedy Rugs GT4 series at Imola. And once again, I found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this one really hurt too, because I looked certain to challenge for my first ever LFM podium. At worst, a top 5 finish looked nailed on. That is, till it all went wrong with a few laps to go. Now I'm starting from P10 out of 19 on the grid, but my qualifying time of 1:53.8 is only a few tenths off the top 3. I've definitely got the pace to be a contender here, but the sim racing gods have other ideas. Let's get on track.
Green light, green light.
Well, for once we're quite alert as the lights go green, far more alert than Jose Trabulo in front of us. We've just cruised past him up the inside. That's one position gained straight away. However, I think we might lose one or two coming into the first chicane because we've got a couple of cars up the inside of us. I'm just going to try and hang it out wide so that there's no contact. Tony Liston in the Audi was able to capitalise. He's got past me and he's tucked it up the inside of Gabriel Viozzi as well. Viozzi out onto the gravel exit in the first chicane, but he's got back on track without me being able to take advantage. Into Villeneuve for the first time. I wouldn't be surprised if this catches a driver or two out, and there's a McLaren rejoining to the left. That's Juan Carlos Ortiz. He started 6th on the grid, so he's had a big moment there going through that second chicane. I'm leaving a gap on the inside because we just haven't quite got around him, but we do have the drive to open up a car lengths advantage coming out of that hairpin. So we're sitting 10th out of 19th. We haven't gained any positions, but we haven't lost any as Ortiz takes a little bit of a peek up the inside going into that left-hander. And we're going to have to be really aware of that McLaren in the rearview mirror. We know Ortiz has got pace and he's going to be eager to make amends for that mistake into Villeneuve. He's right behind us now, coming through Acca Minerali for the first time. And look how nippy he is, exiting the corner. He's all over our rear end now. He moves to the inside. He's going to try and move up the inside into this chicane. I think we've got no choice here but to let him go. I don't want to be going through here too wide on lap 1. So Ortiz up to 10th. We're down to 11th. We've slipped one position from where we started on the grid, but we have opened up just a little bit of breathing room over Look territory in the Aston Martin behind. Meanwhile, look down the track a bit further. The silver Audi of Tony Liston trying a really ambitious move up the inside into Ravazza. He's out onto the gravel, now rejoining. Have we got the pace to get past him? It doesn't look like we have, but we can tuck right in behind him instead and maybe pick up some tow. We're obviously carrying a lot more momentum, having the racing line through those final 2 turns, but once we pull out of the draft, we just haven't got the grunt to get past. So I think rather than maintaining that inside line and trying to send it into T1, we'll just tuck back in behind Liston. Yellow flags are out though. Have we lost someone else? Yes, we have. There's another Audi in the gravel, and it's Pavel Tikhonov. Tikhonov started from the front row of the grid and was leading this race. So something big has happened at the start of lap 2. Yeah, really strange one this. Pavel Tikhonov in the Audi leading the way as we cross the line to end lap 1. The BMW of Massimo Max in hot pursuit behind, and it looks like Max, the pole position man, just got caught out by the slower corner speed of that Audi. He runs into the back of him and then takes a whack himself. End of lap 2, we're into the top 10, but we might get a sniff of 9th. Look ahead, that's Gabriel Viozzi in the Audi, just getting out onto the gravel through Ravazza. It gives him dirty tyres, which almost causes him to stack it when he gets on the gas out of that final turn. That's going to give us the opportunity to squeeze being the operative word. I was worried we might get pushed up against the wall there, but we have got past. We followed Tony Liston through. We're up into 9th. And I'm just glancing into my rear view mirror there. It looks like the other drivers behind me haven't managed to get past Viozzi, so that'll work in our favour. We've got a little bit more breathing room behind now. And we're much quicker than Tony Liston exiting that first chicane. Look at the extra pace we've got. We may even be able to challenge into Villeneuve. I have a look, but I think better of it. But how will Liston cope with this pressure? Not very well by the looks of it, because he's out onto the gravel exit in Villeneuve, and that gives us another position. We're up into 8th. Yeah, I don't know whether I spooked Liston a bit there with that look up the inside into Villeneuve. I thought I might be able to make a pass with the extra speed I had. I soon thought better of it, but then I got the pass done anyway when he ran into the gravel. So that was one freebie from Liston. Then towards the end of lap 4, we were going to get another. We're currently about 1 second behind this pack of cars in front. However, we're going to lose one of the leaders at this upcoming chicane.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
So there's the warning of the yellow flags, and there's the car in the barrier. It's Richard Sadler. Now, Sadler had made an excellent start. He was 9th on the grid alongside me. He'd worked his way up to 2nd place by the end of lap 4. However, he's pushing hard to chase the leader, Akos Farago, and he stacks it. Well, by the start of lap 6, we actually found ourselves in a fairly lonely 7th position. We're still only 1 second behind this pack in front, and while we're matching them on pace, we can't find those extra few tenths needed to close them in. However, we are going to get a gift coming into Villeneuve. Keep your eye on that white Porsche. That's Jose De La Iglesia, who started 3rd on the grid, so that is another one of the front runners who's ended up in the dirt. We're up to 6th and in hot pursuit of the top 5. Yeah, De La Iglesia just pushing a little bit too hard into this corner. We see the rear step out, and from then on it's impossible to save. He slides into the sand. Well, by lap 7, I'd really started to find my rhythm. Not only have I opened up a gap of more than 3 seconds back to the cars behind, but I'm also reeling in this pack in front. And it's not just 5th position within my sights. I can see 3rd too. I'm within a sniff of a podium battle now, and we're getting visibly closer to Ortiz in front with every corner. Just 0.5 of a second now as we approach this chicane. But yeah, things are starting to look really encouraging. All of a sudden, we've found some real pace, and we can see that white BMW in 3rd position. That's Massimo Max, the pole position man. He is going to come under attack from Daniel Ferrer in 4th. Ferrer's tucked it up the inside. But is he going to be able to get it stopped? He's running too hot. Max is going to make a move back up the inside. Speaking of running in too hot, Ortiz has blown it into the penultimate turn as well. Do you know what? I am feeling up for this one now. I think we can get a podium here. We've got more pace than Ferrer and Max in front. We've got past Ortiz. We're up into the top 5, and we've still got half of this race left. But let's not get carried away, because look at the pace of the McLaren in the rearview mirror. Ortiz goes wide. That pushes us over to the inside. We're going to have to defend here. Hopefully Ortiz won't roll it around the outside. We take a bit too much curb on the inside, but we have held on to 5th position, and we do get a much better burst to gain a valuable few tenths. Yeah, double trouble into Ravazza. First, Ferrer runs in too hot, and he's followed into the gravel by Ortiz. Now we're able to tuck it up the inside of McLaren to take that 5th position. Rejoining the live action on lap 9, and we're just about clinging on to this pack in front. 2nd to 5th, separated by less than a second. We're just over a second behind them. But I could really do with finding an extra few tenths somewhere just to close this gap in. And I've still got the McLaren to deal with behind as well. Ortiz isn't going anywhere. And we just took a little bit too much curb coming out of that chicane. That has cost us some valuable time. Look at the pack in front making a break for it. It's also going to bring Ortiz into play. In fact, he's considering a lunge up the inside into Ravazza. Oh, he came in really hot there. I wondered if he could hold on to it. He has done. Fair play to him. But he gets on the gas a little bit too early coming out of the corner. He almost loses the rear. We should get the position back here. We floor it down the start-finish straight. And this battle has brought, look, Tenetry into play as well. Tenetry in the Aston Martin moves to the middle. We're going to be 3 wide as we cross the line. Oh, we've just been completely wiped out and sent into the barrier. What on earth has happened there? Ortiz just came flying across in front of us. Ortiz is still going. He's into the gravel. We've lost several positions. We may get one back because Ortiz is rejoining offline. We do get past him, but what an absolute disaster. Remember what I said at the start of the video about being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Well, it has struck me down again here big time. I knew we were going 3 wide. Watch, look, Tenetry, he's getting a toe from me here. He's going to move to the middle. Here's where we're 3 wide. Now at this point, I'm staying over as far to the right as I can, but it's no good. I just get squeezed out. There's more than enough room for 3 cars to go side by side on this part of the circuit, so there must have been contact between Ortiz and Tenetry. Let's watch from the chopper cam. Yeah, there's the contact. Ortiz just moving over to the middle of the track. He clips Tenetry, and that turns his car into a missile that heads straight for me. Yeah, really frustrating that instant. We picked up a load of damage when we hit the wall, and as a result I'm having to work twice as hard to keep this Porsche facing in the right direction, never mind closing the gap and challenging the drivers in front. I had really hoped that I'd be fighting for a podium at this late stage of the race, but instead I find myself down in 8th position. However, I am closing in on the driver in front. That's Massimo Max. Now, Max was further ahead early in the race, but he's clearly got some damage himself, so Max must have come to grief, and he's getting it all wrong through Acca Minerale, so we might get an opportunity to get past the BMW here. But maybe we won't. Max was able to maintain a lot of that speed despite running off track. He's rejoined in front of us. All we can do is tuck in behind him now. We know he's running with damage, the pole position man, so we could still have an opportunity to get past him, but let's not rule out what's happening behind, because Gabriel Viozzi is right on our tail now. He's within 0.1 of a second. We could get done by the Audi here. I'm going to brake as late as I can to try and avoid a repeat of the Ortiz dive a few laps ago. We have managed to. Well, let's jump forward a lap. Remember what a hash Max made at Acca Minerale last time? Well, he's going to do exactly the same again. We're within 0.5 of a second of him. We've still got Viozzi chasing us behind. But look at Max, he's out of control, off track, almost sideways as he slides back on. This is surely an opportunity. However, we're going to get pushed to the outside line. Max defending, there's going to be no way around here. All we can do is apply pressure. Well, I must admit, I'm a little apprehensive about running too close to that BMW. We've seen how out of shape he can get. I get a bit messy myself on exit, taking too much of the curbs again. That is going to cost us some exit speed. Max making a break for it, which means we'll come under pressure again from Viozzi behind. We'll brake late, we brake too late, and we almost run into the back of the BMW. Oh no, we're out onto the gravel. That's going to cost us 1, 2, 3 positions, maybe even 4. If Adriano Ruperto manages to get up the inside in the Alpine, it looks like he's going to. Well, that's my first mistake of the race, and what a costly time to do it. We're on the last lap, and we've dropped down to 12th. Well, it was a relatively small mistake, but I got punished big time for it. Just running in too hot and getting out onto the gravel, and we lose an agonising 4 positions. And with just 1 lap remaining, we've got hardly any time to repair the damage. Well, I can't believe I might not even finish in the top 10 in this race. A few laps ago, I felt I was nailed on for a top 5 and had the potential for a podium. But all we can do now over this last half a lap is stay as close as we possibly can to these cars in front. Maybe an opportunity will present itself, or maybe they might just take each other out. But as things stand, it's Juan Carlos Ortiz in 10th position, Adriano Ruperto in 11th, me just 0.3 of a second behind in 12th. Can we do anything? Can we salvage a top 10 here? We're running out of time, that's for sure. There's only a few corners to go. The odds are against us here at Imola. We're sluggish out of Acca Minerale as well. That's not going to do us any favours. We need to be closer than this. Ortiz defending that 10th position into the chicane. He doesn't want Roberto to find a way through there. We close back in. Can we do anything? Look how close Roberto is to Ortiz now. He's going to be picking up a toe. He's on the grass as he's trying to find a line. He's surely sizing up an overtake attempt into Ravazza, but Ortiz is defended, and they're both going to run in too hard. They're both out onto the gravel. Can we take 2 positions in one swoop? Yes, we can. Well, what a dramatic end to the race. I thought my chances of a top 10 finish were blown, but we have snatched it in the final corner. Of course, I'm disappointed it's not a top 5, but I'll take this.
Good job, you did the best you could.
And here's a replay of the mistake that gifted me a top 10. Ortiz defending too hard, Roberto pushing too hard, and they both run wide. Luckily, I'd kept myself within striking distance, so I was able to capitalise and grab that 10th position. Okay, let's check out the classified results. And yeah, we really should have been battling with Luc Tenetry and Daniel Ferreira in the final stages of that race. At the very least competing for a top 5, but it looks like we had the pace to challenge for a podium too. Ultimately though, that incident down the start-finish straight cost us big time. Well, once again, we've proved we've got the pace to compete in ACC. Now we just need that little bit of luck to avoid the carnage. Thanks ever so much for watching, and let's hope for a bit better fortune next time out. Cheers.